Hello, welcome back to Color Me Impressed. Today is the first day of my 12 Days of Christmas coloring series, where I'll be coloring 12 different Christmas pictures, have some music going on in the background so you can just get a drink, sit back and relax, and watch one of our favorite things to do, which is coloring. So you won't have to hear my voice too much in this video, but I did want to address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the large ring. And I'm not talking about the one that's in the picture. But really, I do want to mention that I got engaged on December 10th. So you will notice a ring in all of my videos past that date. So I just wanted to tell quickly the story of my engagement to get that out of the way, and then we can go back to enjoying relaxing and peaceful coloring. I have this kind of sped up here, but I am coloring from the Vintage Christmas Windows by Creative Haven. And this is one of the pictures that I had chosen for the Christmas scavenger hunt and the first for my 12 Days of Christmas, as I mentioned previously. So you'll see me doing this in the background, and I will talk quickly about my engagement story. And then from there on, you'll know why I have a ring on my finger now. So, 2020 has been a strange year for everybody. But my partner Mike and I decided that this was a great year to do something that we had kind of been putting off for a while. We've been together for about 8 years, and we are very low-key, non-romantic type of people. And so the prospect of getting engaged and having huge parties and this, that, and the other was a little bit intimidating for us, along with just the general intimidation of, saying you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life legally. So, we actually decided together that 2020 was going to be the year we were going to get engaged. And this came about pretty randomly. When you're together for that long, you've obviously talked about it at some point. We knew it was going to happen. But I think it was just a random Saturday morning, maybe in, late September. No, I think it was October. And I was watching the Barefoot Contessa, and Ina was just making this beautiful casserole for Jeffrey on Christmas morning. And for some reason, that was the moment that made me go, I want to get married. I want to make a beautiful casserole for my husband in a very feminist way. Like, he would be helping me prep the veggies and would be cleaning the dishes. Like, don't y'all worry. But so, I had that revelation, talked to my partner, and he was a little bit taken aback, but he said, all right, well, let's do this. We've been wanting to do it. And as long as we were both okay with not having all of the rigmarole, no big flashy event, anything like that, we were going to go through with it. So we looked at rings in early November, and then from then on, I kind of wanted it to be a surprise for me. So he got to plan everything, figure out when it was going to happen, but my only request was that it happened before Christmas, so that once we saw everyone for Christmas, they would see us as a newly engaged couple. They could check out the ring, all of that stuff. And that way, since we'd already be seeing them for Christmas, we wouldn't have to risk any more trips with the pandemic still going on, things like that. So, December 10th was a Thursday. I was just sitting, working, and Mike had mentioned that he needed to go pick something up at the pharmacy. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And after about an hour, I started getting a little suspicious because the pharmacy is a 5-minute walk away. And I texted him asking if he was okay. He said, oh, I lost track of time and I decided to go to Whole Foods. Okay, mind you, this guy would never be losing track of time in Whole Foods. So I figured he was picking up the ring and I, didn't want to push it too much. So I'm sitting here and he walks through the door, an hour later with balloons and roses. And I'm just sitting here in my leggings and a t-shirt and asking, oh my God, is this really happening right now? I was really in shock. I don't know how, we had talked about this, we had planned it together, but somehow he still managed to surprise me, which was his intention. So, but it was really funny because, he did the whole thing, got down on one knee, said all of the, cute romantic things that we normally don't say to each other. So it was really nice. And obviously I said yes. But it was funny because he had asked me if I knew it was happening that day. And I said, no, it was a complete surprise to me. And he said, oh, because, you took a shower today. That is how the pandemic is going for us. To clarify, I take showers, but, I'm not washing my hair every day. But that day, thank God, I had a video call that day for work, and I washed my hair, I blow dried it, I put on makeup, and I don't usually do that. I maybe do that once every 2 weeks for whatever work things I have to do. So I could see why he was suspicious, but it was still just so funny that he asked that question because I took a shower. I mean, that's embarrassing, but also hilarious. So I think that's pretty much the story. It's not anything super crazy, but that's kind of the way we wanted it to be. So yes, I'm excited to share that with you guys, and thank you to everyone who has been super supportive. And, aside from not having to feel guilty about not having a huge engagement to do, since this year is not good for large gatherings, aside from that reason of getting engaged in 2020, we also wanted to get engaged this year to end the year on a high note. Have kind of a bright spot when we look back to 2020. This year obviously has been pretty awful for everyone. On a personal level, my dad was actually sick in the hospital for over a month, and he's better now. But, there's been a lot of hard and difficult things we've all had to deal with. So we really just wanted to go into 2021 with a lot of things to look forward to. So thank you for allowing me to share this story with you. And I do want to make a note about this picture. We're going to get into some of the music in a minute, but it does go a little bit off the rails in terms of the color palette. There's a lot going on in this picture. It's not complex, but there are a lot of different elements, and I really should have toned down some of the colors. So I will come back at the end and explain what I did, but I just wanted to keep you updated that it does kind of change. I think about 3/4 of the way into the picture, I turn off the camera and then come back with the finished result. So I will see you shortly, and until then, enjoy the rest of the video. right, and we are back with the finished picture. So I did make some changes from the last time you saw. I made a silver background for this holly here. It used to be green, and now it matches the Christmas tree. And then for the bird that used to be red, it's now gold in the background to match this other Christmas tree here. I added some white Posca pen for the snowflakes. I finished up some gel pen work for the window panes and some of the detailing with glitter as well. And I finished up the elves here, colored in some of the background, and again added more glitter. And I do like the way it turned out once I made the updates to the color palette, changing out the silver and gold for the red and green. Thank you all so much for joining me, and we'll talk soon.